Larry Nichols, we have seen the fall of the Clintons, at least so far. Let's talk about how they may counter-strike. You predicted that they would no-bill them. You predicted they would come out, the day before the election or 2 days before and say that they'd done nothing wrong. But despite all that, they failed. I think it's very telling that former Clinton confidant, former Clinton insider, I think it's very telling, Larry Nichols, that they would not concede that night in a press conference, which is probably too sick to, that they did it the next day, and that they weren't as conciliatory as Trump. Do you talk about that, A, and then B, whatever's on your plate, do you agree with me that they're insane? Trump is, which he's not, and his entire crew, they are leaving a rattlesnake in their bed if they do not rout the Clintons and their entire crime syndicate, including the neocons, immediately.
Alex, if Donald Trump doesn't go all the way, he's a fool. He's an absolute fool. Look, these people are like the plague. You may get a case solved, but unless you kill the plague, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. What they're working on, I will bet you $100 to biscuit what they did last night that delayed their announcement or concession. And she was checking with Obama, checking to make sure that everything was in place since they were having to face defeat, making sure that he had her covered with a pardon, making sure that the Clinton Foundation was covered with a pardon. And then they're making their plans today. They're not making their plans to ride off. They're not planning to go away and disappear. You got to remember, they made large promises to people that have put billions of dollars into that foundation. They can't walk away from that. So no, it's not over. Now, what Donald Trump's got to do, and I wish everybody in this audience would do it, send him a letter. Send Donald Trump a letter and remind him of all the things that he promised us he would do if he became president. I'm talking about build the wall. I'm talking about stopping this madness of these unvetted Syrians coming in by the thousands. He's got to hold to that promise. He's been elected, but there's a couple of things I've seen that I don't like, Alex. Number one, Paul Ryan. Him and Paul Ryan making up, him and Hillary making up all this.
Oh, no, I agree. And Paul Ryan has stabbed him in the back 3 times. Right. Let me tell you, Trump's smart. He needs to get in. I'm not going to give him, he's going to get in. And they already know it. So how will they attack him in the next 2.5 months, though? I mean, they're not going to go away quietly.
Donald Trump is going to run into a Congress that is going to, everything he tries to do, they're going to shut him down.
And he has to go on TV and name the people that are involved. That's why he has to remove Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan's head, politically, should be on a frickin' spike in front of the White House.
Listen, Paul Ryan has already said that if Donald Trump tries to build that wall, he has a lawsuit waiting. Already got it prepared, a lawsuit to stop him. And then...
Oh, big frickin' deal. Exactly. We're allowed to have a damn wall.
Right. And then Donald Trump saying that he's going to get rid of all these presidential special orders. He's going to do special orders to get rid of them. Well, let me tell you the problem. You know this, Alex. When Obama issued every one of those presidential special orders, Congress had 30 days to rescind every damn one of them.
And they didn't. And they set up funding bureaucracies for each one of the little things.
That's right. They could have shut every one of them down. But I'll bet you this. When Donald Trump signs a presidential special order, what do you bet there's a rescission order signed immediately? No, he's going to fight a Congress that is going to be vicious unless he stands up, as he has done, and tell the American people.
That's right. If he is conciliatory, if he plays ball. Did you notice Obama came out today and said, all right, we should all root for Trump. That's a quote. We should get behind him. They're openly now saying, okay, you beat us. You took over. We'll leave you alone if you sell out. No. Now we're going to find out. Did Trump really just want to take over the kingdom, or did he want to change the world? This is where I think he's for real. We're about to find out.
I think he's for real, but we got to make him prove it. He's got to prove it. He can't just say it. Alex, listen, you've never seen a time when a moral Christian conservative and a liberal or a communist have negotiated. You've never seen it. Whenever negotiations take place between, I'm just going to shorten it by saying a liberal and a conservative.
It's one-sided.
One-sided every time. So Trump's got to bring to that White House his business acumen. He knows what it's like to get into a deal. He knows what it's like to negotiate. And I hold him to what he has said. He knows how to win in negotiations. And he damn well better do it. or this whole ride will be short-lived, Alex. It will be the shortest-lived trip we've ever seen because they will cut him up in a million pieces.
That's right. Let's stop right there. Talk about this, though, celebration-wise. The mainstream media is dead. They've destroyed themselves. They're a joke. They'll still prop it up because it's an even bigger collapse if they admit it's gone. Because then it'll just be, oh, we're actually the real media. Oh, my God, these people were fake. It's all in the WikiLeaks. But this is a repudiation of the pollsters, the political class, the elites. This vote, this overriding of the fraud, is a indicator, a major blue ribbon victory, gauging the level of awakening. I mean, is it not spectacular, Trump aside?
You know, Alex, this is the greatest day for programs, networks like yours. You proved through this network, through Matt Drudge and his internet site, you proved that the truth is out there if somebody's got the courage to cover it. And I believe that the mainstream media now has humiliated itself. I don't know who they're going to go to convince anymore. Who's going to believe them anymore? Who's going to believe the pollsters?
That's right. That's
anymore?
right. They were already totally discredited at 6% in major studies, AP. Now they acted like we were crazy that Trump would win. They are in negative numbers. They are the discredited joke of the world.
The only way they come back is to lie and to try to put on this facade that they're changing, and they're going to be more conservative, more fair, that they're going to deal with the news straight up. But everything I've seen thus far this morning doesn't show me that.
Hey, let me tell you, here's an analogy. We're going to come back, 70 seconds with Larry Nichols. If I get food poisoning in a restaurant that I've been to for years that I love, I'm never going back there again. Everything they serve, we get food poisoning from. So I don't care what they say or what they do. CNN, Megyn Kelly, all of them, you're done. You're done. We hate you. You're pathetic. We know you're a scumbag, Megyn Kelly. You're done, you little tart. You are a traitor against this country, you sack of crap.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You gonna sit down and play games and be a trendy, or are you gonna be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action. Larry Nichols, we have seen the fall of the Clintons, at least so far. Let's talk about how they may counterstrike. You predicted that they would no-bill them. You predicted they would come out, the day before the election or 2 days before and say that they'd done nothing wrong. But despite all that, they failed. I think it's very telling that former Clinton confidant, former Clinton insider, I think it's very telling, Larry Nichols, that they would not concede that night in a press conference. He's probably too sick to. That they did it the next day and that they weren't as conciliatory as Trump. Do you talk about that, A, and then B, whatever's on your plate, do you agree with me that they're insane? Trump is, which he's not, and his entire crew, they are leaving a rattlesnake in their bed if they do not rout the Clintons and their entire crime syndicate, including the neocons, immediately.
You know, Alex, if Donald Trump doesn't go all the way, he's a fool. He's an absolute fool. Look, these people are like the plague. You may get a case solved, but unless you kill the plague, it's not